unnamed continent is the main setting of the Witcher series, and is where the Northern Kingdoms and Nilfgaardian Empire lie. Unlike other fantasy series such as The Song of Ice and Fire and The Lord of the Rings, there are no officially published maps of the world. However, there are some that the author has approved of and said is close to what he imagined. The continent is made up of several kingdoms and states. The biggest of the northern kingdoms are Cedwyn, Temeria, Redania, and Edirn. They're located on the continent's western coast. Other places on the continent include the Korath Desert, Zerrikania, and Hackland to the south. Hanu, Zagwabar, Barsa, and Ophir could potentially be part of the same continent, but both are described as being beyond the seas, so it's possible they are part of a different landmass altogether. Unlike other fantasy worlds, such as A Song of Ice and Fire, the wider world around the main location of the story is very much a mystery, with little in world lore about these far-off lands. During the story of The Witcher, the Northern Kingdoms and parts of Nilfgaard are the main settings where the story takes place, but we do meet people and hear tales of these far-off lands. Cartographers and mapmakers for ages have claimed that the southernmost part of this landmass was Gemeria, and that the lands below belonged to another continent altogether, but by the time of the Second Northern War, this belief had been abandoned. This is why maps on the continent differ from source to source, depending on the medium. However, they all share common threads and key locations. Much like real-world history maps, if you look at any map from the medieval era, they are wildly vague and inaccurate, differing from one to another greatly, but they also do tend to have some common themes and threads across them all. The Great Sea is an ocean located to the west of the continent. It is said to host an underwater civilization on its own, which still holds many mysteries to most common folk, with many learned men and sorceresses not knowing much about them. This sea also serves as a vital trade route between the otherwise distant places such as Kovir, Zagwabir, and Fabiola, and is vital for swift movement of goods around the continent, given its scale and difficult terrain filled with bandits, monsters, and more. Its importance in the lives of seaside communities led to the growth of sea-related cults such as Senda. The Skellige Isles is an archipelago and one of the northern kingdoms located in the Great Sea, just off the coast of Sintra and southwest of Sidaris and Verdun, famous for its unrivaled corsairs and swift longships that sail many seas. The Kingdom of Skellige plays an important role in the politics of the continent, despite the fact they mostly like to keep their own political matters to themselves. The continent has countless rivers, but the biggest, and maybe the most vital, are the Pontar and the Yaruga. The Yaruga is the bigger of the two. During the first landing, the first humans landed their ships in the mouth of the Yaruga, before colonizing slowly eastward. In 1283, midway through the First Northern War, the Nilfgaardian army crossed the Yaruga after conquering Sintra and Upper Sodden, and was defeated in the Battle of Sodden Hill. They retreated back over the river, and both Nilfgaard and the northern armies reached a stalemate, with each side on either bank of the river. Thus the river has sort of created a natural border between the two warring sides. The Pontar, known by the elves in the Old Tongue as the River of the Alabaster Bridges, is one of the largest rivers in the northern kingdoms. It serves as a natural border between Redania and Temeria to the west, and Cedwyn and Edirn to the east. It rises in the Blue Mountains and empties into the North Sea near Novigrad. The area in the vicinity of the river is also known as the Pontar Valley, or simply Pontar. The river valley is distributed into a few regions, such as Riverside and Lormark. Much of the Witcher books and games take place around the river. The continent has 7 key mountain ranges, some of which do play a role in the story. The Amal Mountains separate the northern kingdoms from Nilfgaard and its vassal states. Amal is famous for its jade and jasper, as well as its white marble, of which many elven sculptures were made. Within Amal, there are many passes that connect the Duchy of Toussaint with the north and south. The Blue Mountains are a large range dividing the northern kingdoms from Hackland and Zerrikania. The mountains form a natural border for at least Lyria, Edirn, and Cedwyn. Dol Blatana, the Valley of Flowers, lies at the very foot of the mountains, and the river Yaruga's springs is hidden among the rocky heights. The Free Elves have made their abode in the mountains, among them Filvandrel and Fiel. The Dragon Mountains are the most northern mountain range in the northern kingdoms. It is commonly said that no man to this day has ever managed to see what's on the other side, due to both the region's extreme remoteness and the dragon population that gives it its name. How much of this tale is true is hard to say. Needless to say, anyone who's ever ventured deep into these mountains has not returned to tell the tale. The Fiery Mountains, or the Mountains of Fire, are a range which lies to the eastern edge of the known world. They lie east of Tir Torchaire and north of the Korath Desert, northeast Nilfgaardian Empire. To the southeast lies Hackland and Zerrikania. The Kestrel Mountains are a range that separate Kedwen from Redania, Kovir and Povis. They lie to the west of Kedwen. Several rivers run through the range as well. Mahakam is both a vassal state and a mountain range between the kingdoms of Temeria, Edirn, Lyria and Sodden, inhabited by dwarves, gnomes and halflings. It is best known as being an exporter of iron and steel to the northern kingdoms and Nilfgaard, and many mines, foundries, forges and ironworks are located there. Mahakam's iron is famous for its quality and is considered to be the best in the world. Aside from its iron, Mahakam is famous for its weapons, forged using advanced gnomish techniques. Finally, we have Tir Torchaire, a scarcely inhabited mountain range that divides the Korath Desert from the modern-day northern and central provinces of Nilfgaard. It is known as the largest lasting enclave of gnomes. Geographically, I think it's fair to bring up two other unique key elements within the continent. First, we have the Korath Desert, which lies to the far south and east of the northern kingdoms, beyond Tir Torchaire and the Nilfgaardian Empire and Zerrikania. It's a wild and hostile place, perilous to any creature not adapted to the lack of water and its extreme heat. It's so hostile that it's unimaginable for any person to ever cross it and survive, believing that the person would soon die from thirst, heat, or the monsters that live there. We see a bit of this desert in the book series. Finally, for this video, I briefly want to mention Brokilon, also known among the humans as the Forest of Death. Is an ancient forest queendom and the sole non-human state in the Northern Realms, never conquered or subjugated by humans. Ruled by dryads and hamadryads, it hosts many other races and species persecuted in the outside world. Very few humans have even been allowed to enter the forest, Geralt of Rivia being one of them. The forest is a key part of the stories and one of the most interesting geographic features of the world of The Witcher, owing to its magical connection and the mysteries the forests hold.